My bad for being right.
Hi, so today we're going to be doing a Rush VOD once more. It's going to be
Needs some help.
the legendary champion versus
Holy,
Xmithy
pretty
in the
sure.
jungle. We have Jensen in the mid lane, so that's going to be fun to watch. So let's see how this lane ends up going out.
Top should be 1v1.
Let's actually, before we actually get into this, let's go back and let's talk about some of the lane matchups and what Rush would possibly be thinking. Once again, Twitch chat, I will answer all the questions in the chat after the VOD, so let's just get into it. Now, in top lane, very volatile lane, mainly because of the Ignite, mainly because of the fact that this lane will be shoving in. Also, we know that bot lane doesn't actually have much until like level 3, because that's when Pyke becomes really, really strong, because neither of these champions have a level of escape. We also have a very strong left side, mainly because of the fact that we have Ignite versus Heal Teleport. So this is really, really good. We can also assume that Hecarim, because it's a Predator game, is most likely going to... Oh, he's running Conqueror, actually. Never mind. I didn't even realize. It seems like even Hecarim is now running Conqueror instead of Predator, so that's really, really cool. So this might change up a few things in his route. So we're going to see what he does. Oh, so once again, just to re-clarify, Rush's game plan is to play more on the left-hand side until level, like, maybe 6 or 3, in which then his bot lane becomes strong. He's only looking to possibly... protect top lane, mainly because of the fact that if the enemy jungler starts on the right hand side and it's a match clear, or it's a match clear on the left hand side, then the 2v2 may actually be lost despite the Ignite.
Top should be 1v1 if they can.
Your goal is really just to farm, so full clearing would actually be really good. I wouldn't be surprised if he just like did Gromp into Wolves into Scuttle. So we know that the enemy jungler started on the right hand side, which is obvious, so it's good. So here, Rush is just going to clear his jungle.
For Scuttle, W instantly. And chasing.
Notice how he's always F-keying.
What was that?
I think he missed.
What the fuck was that?
I don't even know what just happened. Yep. Once again, you want to be pinging Hecarim. Right now, you wouldn't be, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Rush simply just pinged Hecarim on the left-hand side.
Yes, heal. If I hover here.
This should never work.
Guess I can maybe make it, but it's really hard now.
Yeah. Now, once again, this is really good. Now, we can talk about some of this stuff. When Ziggs actually ends up hitting this wave, we can assume that the wave is going to push into Zed. Now, if we simply just walk into the enemy, and this is something you see a lot in higher MMR play, in which an assassin versus a control mage, if you just walk in and chunk the enemy's Ziggs and then zone him off this incoming wave that's potentially going to be pushing into Zed, Zed actually ends up winning the lane. And then you can simply transition by going back from straight into mid lane into your left-hand side camps, in which then puts top lane in a shit ton of pressure, because now you can just simply clear this jungle, this, and then depending on, by the time the top lane pushes in, you can maybe hover, look for the recall, and come back onto your accelerated camps on the right-hand side. So here, you're going to see Rush walk in, and then maybe just look for the chunk. Let's see what he does. This is a really, really good play, even though it doesn't actually do anything.
Let me steal some of the XP.
Also, it seems like he could just get level 3, possibly.
Their jungle can collapse on me
Yep.
like this.
Once again, Rush knows the jungle can collapse, mainly because of the fact that Xmithy has left side initiative, because he started clearing on the right-hand side. And now,
like he fucked up really hard.
we know that his blue buff is probably still... I believe his blue buff is down. Let me check. Because, yeah, his blue buff is up. So, here we can simply tab, right? Now, we can see if blue buff is up, which is obvious because he doesn't have it. We can see if Wolves are up, or we can see if Gromp is up. We can assume that it would be really awkward for Hecarim to do a clear like this. Right? So we can assume that Wolves are probably down. Right? And then, obviously, blue is up. Depending on his CS. But once again, Rush doesn't actually tab, so we can't exactly tell what's going on. But in this case, Hecarim has a number of options. He can either just clear the right-hand side jungle. Mid is relatively safe because, as we said, the wave is actually pushing back into Ziggs, as you saw the wave. Or Hecarim can make a movement like this. In that case, all our clear is going to be Raptors, Red, Krugs, recall back onto the right-hand side. By the time that happens, bot lane will probably be in a decent proximity in which we can just gank.
That's the only explanation.
Sorry about that. Holy shit, I just showed the league client. Okay, whatever. Nope. We're just taking the red buff.
Nice.
Bot lane ends up getting a kill.
Please, can you queue?
Double kill? Okay.
Nice!
Nice.
Now I feel better now.
Okay, and now we just do Krugs. The goal is just to farm up. The goal is just to get levels. That's all we have to do. Once again, as you can see, Rush is actually on Krugs instead of Raptors because of the fact that by the time that this lane actually pushes in, we're hovering around here. So if Hecarim does something like this, we could actually come in for a match gank. We are never looking to actually fight because once again, we are level 4 Evelynn. Irelia does do a lot of damage depending on, you know, the circumstances and cooldowns burnt into top lane. It's very easy for Hecarim to just to gank. So we're just going to hover and we're going to kite it towards the left-hand side to make sure Hecarim doesn't actually gank. Let's see what he does now.
The decision here. As Evelynn, you need to make right decision here.
Once again,
the main goal should be hitting 6.
Yeah, so he said the main goal is hitting 6. We see that both laners are now recalling, and by the time that Rush is back onto the right-hand side, we know that Teemo is going to actually be safe because Gromp is spawning. We know that Hecarim's next clearouts are going to be on the right-hand side because this is probably gone depending on his CS. And Teemo will also be safe because the lane's going to be played here.
And also, I need to focus on our bottom because they have no stumps. They're really, really vulnerable.
Yep.
They don't have escape. Hecarim should be here.
Yep.
Soon. Or maybe he already got it. No, he already
No,
got
he
it,
didn't
so
already get it. Hecarim did not already get that. That camp is gone. That camp hasn't respawned yet. Hecarim is actually recalling. He's going to be here very soon, but he has not come onto the right-hand side because it is too, the game timer is too early for that to actually happen.
For next play. What is going to be his next play? Would he clear these camps or
he's clearing?
Actually, he should come to
yep.
now.
See, so the Krugs have just spawned. Hecarim is now going to be on the right-hand side. He just cleared the left-hand side, and now he's recalled, and now he should show here very soon, in which we're going to simply do Wolves into Gromp, because we want to be, once again, in the closest proximity to where the action will most likely happen. We know that mid lane is missing, right? Or not missing, but recalled. Our Zed is not in the lane, so nothing's ever going to happen. Top lane is, once again, potentially frozen, depending if the wave ends up actually meeting in a very nice spot for Teemo. Likewise, we know that the only option Hecarim has is on the right-hand side into bot lane. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and then we're just going to hover. We're not going to actively look for a gank, but we are only farming camps in correspondence to where Hecarim will be. This is known as something called reactionary jungling. And reactionary jungling is basically, it can be done in a more offensive manner in which your goal is to hit level 6, and all you're doing is just hovering and defending any potential options that the enemy can have. That's why you don't see him doing not Krugs, but Gromp first. Because if he does Gromp, and then this lane ends up pushing in, and the lane ends up being played here, and then he ends up doing Wolves, Hecarim can do this. And now Rush is in far too much of a proximity to actually help his bot lane out. That's why he does 1 into 2 instead of the other way around.
Yeah. He's going to be boss side soon. I can be on... Yeah, he's here.
Yep, there he is.
I can maybe do 2v2 or 2v3.
Yeah, you could 3v3.
I know that he's there.
Pyke is really strong.
Lane gank or top side?
Yep, so his Wolves have now spawned. They are rubber banded for him.
Lane.
And now he either goes to Wolves or he goes bot lane for a lane gank. And that's
what... to gank bottom? It doesn't look like it.
Nope.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. I will kill his ward. The bottom is pretty much stabilized now. There's no ping.
Now, the reason Rush says that bot lane is stabilized is because of the fact that, once again, coming back into the reactionary mode that we're actually jungling in because we want to hit level 6, this lane is pushing down. Hecarim's next clearouts are going to be like this. Bot lane is stabilized. They're safe. They can farm.
Is he moving down or going to river?
Once again, Rush has nowhere to farm, so all he's doing is just trying to match Hecarim's clearouts by just matching him in the jungle. When Hecarim does this, this lane will be pushed into Irelia because we know, as we talked about, by the time that the double recall was happening, the lane for Teemo was actually in a really nice spot. Because I think Teemo either froze it or just simply CS the wave, but now you can see if you tab or look into top lane, not tab, but look top lane, you can see the lane pushing into Irelia. In this case, what we're going to simply do is just match the wave with Hecarim's options. We know Hecarim is left side. We know that this lane is pushing in. So we're gonna wait for our rubber banded camps here, and then we're just gonna take the red buff when it spawns in a few seconds.
Hecarim doesn't want to gank bottom now because they're playing safe, right?
Yep. Oh, they're pushing
another
the
way.
way.
Test this one because he has gonna have a like 2-lane push soon. If he overextend, maybe I can kill him.
Now, here you can mind game, right? If you were Hecarim, one play you can do as Xmithy is you can maybe mind game rush and do something like this and gank bot lane anyway, in which then bot lane basically ignores the CS and goes in. But that's really, really tricky, and that can really only happen if you have no momentum in top lane or in mid lane, right? And then what would end up happening is Rush, if he sees something like that happen, he could just go straight into Xmithie's left-hand side jungle, in which then he only has one option, which would be back onto the right-hand side. This is something you can do as a jungler, but this is basically the trade-off of either having a good lane for your bot lane, or simply giving up your jungle camps. Now, if bot lane was the only win condition for Xmithie's team, then you could actually debate on giving up your left-hand side jungle and going straight bot lane for the potential gank. But because Irelia still has snowball potential along with the mid lane, Xmithie is not just going to completely throw all of his marbles into one bag and look for the gank, because he will lose his entire left-hand side jungle to Evelynn. And once Evelynn hits level 6, it becomes a really, really hard...
but if he doesn't?
Basically, it becomes a lot harder to keep track of her.
We're not going to win 3v3 or 2v2. I need to stay here till my Raptor spawns. That's the call.
Yep. He takes Raptors. Hecarim's back on the left-hand side. The Scuttle has RNG towards the top side of the map, as we can see, but we can't really contest it.
But I can maybe contest here.
Yep.
He's not gonna hit 6, so it's 6, 5, and let's chunk him and 5. I can go this guy.
On the same page, and now back to our. We just wait for Krugs, and now
once 6, maybe you can try to 2v2.
And now once again, here all Evelynn is doing is simply just looking, understands Hecarim's options. Hecarim's camps have spawned here and here. Once again, Rush is not tabbing, and he's not telling us which camps are up, so we can't really tell. Also, I'm not pausing to tab to see what camps are up because it doesn't really matter right now. We can assume that these 2 camps are up, meaning that once again, what's his options? His options is mid lane. His options is top lane. Right? Mid lane once again is missing. Now, because it's an option in top lane, instead of going to our Krugs and letting Hecarim just kill our top lane, we're actually just going to look at the lane state, because the lane is pushing into Irelia, and simply just hover until Hecarim, if Hecarim comes, we 2v2, or we just look to match gank. If Hecarim doesn't come, then it's fine. We don't actually end up losing anything, because we can then simply just go back to our Krugs, recall, back onto our right-hand side, because once again, Pyke is really, really strong right now, and we just want to open the game through bot lane. Also, our right-hand side camps will then be respawned, so that's really, really good for us. And then that'll basically give us 6.
Maybe I really want to all in. So I will see what happens. Okay. He looks fine, right?
Oh, I didn't get rid of the thing on stream. Holy shit. I said I would do that. So, I said I would get rid of the logo on the top. Sorry about that. I actually forgot. I will do that.
If he doesn't
I'll do that next time.
Top, he should be basing and going for his red. What does that mean? He can be on boss side soon.
I'll get rid of this for the next one. Okay, so yeah, so you recall, and your right-hand side camps are now spawned.
They're fine, but they can go through here. They're 6-2.
Yep. Hecarim is now recalled because nothing happens in top lane. Obviously, if something happened in top lane, Hecarim actually ends up delaying the time by the time he's back onto the right-hand side, and now Rush pings his team. And the reason Rush pings is because he has no control of that side at the moment, because he's recalled. So that's why you always want to let your bot lane know what's going on.
Maybe I can live 2v1. He's gonna ult in, so I can maybe hover. He's gonna ulti.
Ulti?
So W out.
W out. Yep.
Maybe you got him.
Fuck me. All right. So now we wait because we don't actually have Twitch Prime. Anyways. It really is just the same things. We track the enemy jungler, we understand his options, and then we play off of that. So let's just wait for this ad to stop, and then maybe we can go back into the video. Any minute now. Ta-da. Okay, we're back. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Okay.
My bad. Nice. Good job.
Once again, right-hand side camps are spawned, and now you can actually...
Really unless I get solo kill by Ziggs, should be free.
This is pretty risky. Oh, Hecarim doesn't even contest.
By 6, we can like get a free kills.
Hecarim doesn't even contest, and that's really good for us.
All of their champions are really, really weak against Evelynn.
What? Hecarim just left. Okay.
He's 6. Is he going
Wait, did he get chunked? Why the hell is he doing this? Oh, he got chunked. Okay.
really
Okay, I get it. So he's chunked, and now Rush basically took his entire right-hand side. So the only clear Hecarim can really do now is back on the left-hand side of the map, because we know his rubber banded camps, which would be Wolves and Gromp, are going to respawn in about a minute and a half, in which now we basically can gank bot lane, because we know Hecarim can't really do much. Hecarim can then respawn with maybe going into Rush's jungle, but like even that is kind of risky because Zed exists in the game, and then we have priority in bot lane, so I don't really know. Oh. This is where I think Xmithy is just kind of panicking because all his camps are gone. He can't really do much. Misses the flash there. It's okay.
Top side.
Yep.
It's okay. I can burn his thingies anyway.
Now, you notice Rush is not farming. He's actually just looking to snowball the lane.
He's gonna Q on these ones.
If he just chunks out Ziggs, it's really good for him. Yep. You can't ulti. Okay, run. And that should actually just help Ziggs win. That was really poor by Rush.
He didn't burn something. Here was wadded. What the
Now, the game is very simple. You have two options. You can either go like this, or you can go like this. Depending on the state of top lane, if top lane is pushing in and we know Hecarim's on the left-hand side, Hecarim can actually opt to do something like this or like this. So your best call would actually be to simply just like walk in like this. Protect your left-hand side camp, and then protect Teemo. Then come back onto the right-hand side, in which then by the time that you're on right-hand side, this lane may actually end up shoving in. Alternatively, you could actually simply ping Teemo, give up your left-hand side, and go straight down to bot lane to potentially dive them if there's a wave up. But this once again comes back with looking at the lanes. And a third option is finally going back into mid lane, trying to kill Ziggs again, and then simply then maybe moving on to the left-hand side or taking tower and then playing off of whatever is next. So multiple options here.
Maybe that's why. He's on the top side. They have a control here.
Yeah, this is really good.
Nice, we got him.
Jensen actually lands the Q.
Hecarim should be here. It's pretty much messed up too.
Oh.
If I get a ward here, I shouldn't get top, not at all.
Yeah.
Mainly because he has MR, and bottom and mid are hard.
Exactly. You never really gank top there because it's just a bad idea.
Side, by the way.
Oh, maybe you do get. Oh, okay.
He's here. He's no R.
Yep. As I said, Jensen's next clear routes are probably either onto the left-hand side jungle of Rush, and there he is. He actually ends up getting a red buff here. I'm not sure if that's his red buff or if that's Rush's, but I don't think it matters too much. This is a desperation move. Here, Xmithy just ends up donating gold. And
I have a triumph.
Oh, okay, that sucks, man. That was so close.
But I burned a lot of things from Irelia. I think we can win.
This guy gets the kill.
He's dead. Good. To be honest. I took it just for sub-runs.
I don't know why Rush is just not rush Mobies. I think Mobies is a lot better here.
I think you can kill him.
When your laners are winning this hard, just stay on top of the jungler. Don't have to actually get your jungle item immediately.
There's no stomps.
When I say jungle item, I mean Runic Echoes. You can simply just get Moby Boots and just like track the jungler.
When you try to help Zed lane, you don't actually need to kill the opponents. If you chunk him, Zed is gonna have a prior. Cause like, if you make him like take his like 20% of HP, he's lethal. Zed can just like one-shot him.
Rush has a very
big brain.
Like,
cause like it's really actually hard to like kill Zed's opponent because he doesn't have CCs. But as long as you're focused on chunking only, it should be easier.
Super big brain.
Nice. Hecarim has top side and he's low HP. I think we can keep going.
You take the Krugs and you go bot. Krug's bot. Or just go bot. That's fine too.
Oh, no, kill him. Take his ult.
Alright, well, that's fun. Alright.
I got money.
And now all you're doing is just, once again, playing on the right-hand side.
You wanna cover... He has out, so...
Holy shit, everyone's just inting.
He's gonna Q, so I shall ulti. Nice.
Wow, okay. I wouldn't have done that. That was really, really good.
I'm ready to get executed. Actually, I can go through mid. Yeah, he's here. Oh, their bot lane can come. Especially Brand.
Yep, Brand can come. Now the call is very simple. Why does Rush go back onto his right-hand side and not his left-hand side? It's very simple. This lane's going to push in. wow, my pen just spazzed out. Sorry about that. If this lane ends up meeting here, and then Vayne doesn't actually have the wave clear because Brand is not present inside of the lane with her, this wave may actually end up locking for Caitlyn, in which then Rush can just walk in, insta-lock the lane, go back onto his right-hand side jungle, farm, and then go back into bot lane, which then he basically just wants to keep punching the lane until it breaks, so then he can get the lane swap. This is very standard. I mean, I've talked about this in a lot of my videos, where you get the bot tower down. You get the lane swap depending on the objectives up, and then you simply break open the other towers with either Dragon or the, Rift Herald, right? If Dragon is gone, you simply rotate to the left-hand side, you take Rift, Rift then opens top lane because of the pressure you actually have because of the early lane swap you end up getting and the fact that Caitlyn can siege really hard. Alternatively, you simply just use Rift Herald mid and you basically accelerate your lead from bot lane into the other lanes, and that's what you want to be doing as Caitlyn right now. And Rush understands that, so Rush is just going to be playing around that.
He has flash, but no stab much. I can kill him.
Yep, he's dead.
That's right. So I should be careful. I don't need to be worried about his red. Nice. I can go with this guy. He has no flash.
And now it's really just a kill fest. Like, they're so ahead right now because of the fact that Rush was able to reactively path early on, completely deny Xsmithy of any potential ganks that could happen, and simply just farm the camps that are in correspondence to wherever the action is most likely to occur. We actually eventually see Rush getting the level 6, start punishing these very, very small and very, very stupid mistakes that the enemy is making, and then just simply snowball the game off of that. Right? He's very fed now, and all he's going to be doing now is simply just looking to constantly just kill the enemy in his jungle. And the reason he's in the enemy jungle so much and he's not farming his own jungle is because if the enemy doesn't farm, if he doesn't farm, then the enemy doesn't farm either, right? But his team's already ahead. So if you just continuously play the game, if the game keeps going out the way it is, Rush's team wins. It doesn't matter if Rush ends up being down like 2k versus the enemy like mid laner. Because the point is, his AD carry is ahead, his mid laner is ahead, and his top laner is ahead. So your lanes they matter a lot more than your gold and levels as a jungler. Not saying that your levels and gold don't matter at all, they still matter to a degree, but you definitely see this you don't see this a lot in many of the European and NA junglers, but a lot of the Korean junglers they understand this concept in which, like, you see how he could just be farming his jungle, but he's actually just constantly looking to kill Vayne. Because the reality is, if he doesn't need to farm, because Vayne eventually will just keep getting behind more and more. Caitlyn will just keep accelerating the lead. Right? And that's it for now, actually. Rush just continuously does this, and everything is good. You see how he's just sitting here? He's literally just sitting here. He's just waiting for Vayne to come back, and the Caitlyn is just getting more and more ahead. So it's really, really good. Anyways, that's it for now. I hope you guys learned something, and then I'll definitely keep covering more Rush VODs, and that's it for now.